Another year of Marian University sports kicks off today on the ISC Sports Network, a season that'll take us well into the month of May and do double-digit number of sports here on campus. We start with a team that finished their season in the national championship game last year, the Knights of Justin Sullivan and Marian University, as they take on Missouri Baptist, the Spartans, out of St. Louis, Missouri. Alongside Mark Newman, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And on your screen, you see Naomi Walters, who returns with 21 goals from a season ago. She did not play on Wednesday, but under the weather. She returns today. She has 6 goals on the season. She is a major part of the story for Marian just because she is kind of the exception of the rule, and that is that a remarkable senior class graduated after last year. Marian went 21-1-2. That lone loss was to conference rival Spring Arbor in the national championship game. The Cougars won that one 1-0 to claim another national championship. This Knights team is off to a great start. They are 5-0-1, but it is still a work in progress for Justin Sullivan.
Yeah, Justin's clearly reloaded this season with some great talent, and Naomi Walters, the 6 goals you just mentioned, includes a hat trick in one of the games that preceded this one. But you know, she's the finisher. I'm going to have my eyes on Marian Corasalma and Sylvia Quezada. They're the engine in the midfield. They'll be delivering that ball to Walters.
So now let's talk about, just to quickly mention, the unquestioned best player in program history, Erin Alaksak. She's still on campus. She's in the medical school, a couple of buildings away from the football stadium. But Ali Schlam, Noelle Rolfson, amongst those that are no longer eligible to play for the Marian University Knights. So now there's those absences that you're trying to overcome. Now let's talk about injuries. The new goalkeeper, who has been a backup the last couple of years, in Kristen Morgan, she has a knee injury. Her return is questionable in terms of her timeline. Shay Johnson, who has also been a backup in years gone by, she gets the nod today. There are 3 other starters that are out of today's game due to injury, notably Indiana State University transfer Katie Koger, who had 4 goals and 4 assists before an injury potentially has slowed down her season. No Delaney Taylor, nor Cameron Giedel. So frankly, Mark, there's going to be some trial by fire taking place for the Knights today.
Yeah, and you know, quite honestly, it's a good thing that they have this experience now early on in the season as they continue to build throughout the year and look ultimately to that opportunity to get into tournament play.
And it's amazing how quickly time flies. This is the 7th game of the season. There is one more non-conference test against an always good Northwestern Ohio team coming up on Wednesday. After that, it is a 10-day gap before conference play starts. And again, the Knights don't exactly ease into it. They get Indiana Wesleyan here a couple of Saturdays from now. Starters being introduced for Marian. Just a quick thought of Missouri Baptist coming in, Mark. They are 1-3. Scoring goals has been a bit of an issue. They've scored 4 so far this season. No player has more than 1 so far in the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, clearly struggling a little bit here in the early going. I think they'll come in, maybe the intimidation factor will work against them a bit here because they are playing a traditionally powerhouse team in the Marian Knights.
As the Knights know, they are everybody's Super Bowl at this point. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with opening kickoff. It's Marian and Missouri Baptist, and it's yours next in a couple of minutes here on the ISC Sports Network.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Moments away from this one kicking off here at St. Vincent Field. It is a doubleheader both on this pitch as well as on the ISC Sports Network today, because the other football team, if you will, as in the American tackle variety, with once again Ted Karras Jr. at the helm, they will have their home opener against, frankly, their longest time rival, that being St. X out of Chicago. Kickoff of that match comes your way at 6. Scott McCauley, Zach Graves will have all the action for you coming up later tonight on the ISC Sports Network. Let's talk specifically about Shea Johnson. Again, she is the starting netminder today. Kristen Morgan had won the job out of camp. A knee injury has sidelined her. Shea is a sophomore from Lawrence Central, and talking with Justin Sullivan, he loves her shot-stopping ability. You are uniquely qualified to answer this, having played the goalkeeper position at the collegiate level. But when you've been largely on the sidelines watching the last couple of years, and now you know the net's going to be yours for a little while, what goes through your mind?
Well, from a coaching standpoint and from a player standpoint, the coach is, Justin, I'm sure, is telling her, we want to ease you into this, we want to ease you into this. And he's probably having his players make sure they're getting the ball back to get some early touches on it, both with her feet and her hands. The feet part particularly important because in the way they play, her distribution will be a real important asset for them.
So Missouri Baptist with the opening kickoff of the game. Temperature conditions, it feels like a late fall day here in Indianapolis. Temperatures are in the upper 60s. There is a little bit of a breeze, but not too much. And while it is a gray day, not really a threat of rain or precipitation, so a perfect day to play on the turf. The immediate pressure closing down to the keeper leaves an opportunity here for Marian, but that was probably not the moment to have a hit from distance for Lindsey Stoughton. Grace Crawford had plenty of space inside of the 18. That probably was a ball better served playing it to your forward.
Yep, better served or an additional touch. She had a little bit of a channel there to get it closer to the top of the 18 for sure.
But again, Marian starting to pick up some early possession in the attacking third. Now the Spartans try to bring it back towards midfield. This is the fourth time these two teams have played. They have all been since 2016. It is the third time that Marian and Missouri Baptist have faced each other on this pitch here at St. Vincent Field. Marian has won all 3 matchups. They have outscored Missouri Baptist 6-0 combined in the 3 previous meetings. Sophie Decker continuing the family legacy here at Marian University. Her sister Maya was an outstanding player, but now it is Sophie, the freshman from Northern Kentucky, that will be kind of representing the squad here. Ball got behind one of the handful of freshmen on the field for the Knights. That is Katie Byers from the Cincinnati area that could not track that down. It leads to an early corner here in the second minute for the visitors from St. Louis.
This will be a good early test for Shea Johnson here. See how she handles this ball. We saw her just a moment ago come off of her line, play a ball out with her feet effectively. Good way to start the match.
And Johnson has had some reps the last couple of years, but not a lot. Opportunity here, and there's the diving effort by Johnson.
That settles you right off the bat. That's a good thing to see.
And it's a Marian team that, again, has allowed 2 goals in each of their last 3 matchups. So they started the season with 3 consecutive clean sheets. The other thing that we need to talk about for this Marian team, and having some injuries affects this a little bit, is depth. You would say fixture congestion if you were over in England. But this is the 4th match for Marian in the last 8 days. 2 of those took place in Arizona, and then Wednesday's game was at St. Francis up in Joliet, Illinois. So there is some serious wear and miles on the tires for this Marian team heading into today's match. Quezada taking that one inside of the 18. That will be a corner coming for the Knights here in the 3rd minute.
Yeah, you've seen Quezada very active here in the early going. She's getting back to the top of the defensive D there at the other end of the field, getting forward here. Needs to be able to preserve her legs a little bit. And again, just keeping my eyes on her and Cora Selma, who's also been pretty active in this early going.
Those 2 players you mentioned, the 2 players that hail from Mexico on this Marian squad, both returning players. Ball sent in. Walters tries to head it back towards the 6. Not exactly out of danger just yet for Missouri Baptist. And now Marian will retreat a bit to reorganize. Nice sliding tackle away by Skylar Hollingshead for the Spartans.
I like seeing Missouri Baptist coming out really aggressively early on, using that touch line as an additional defender, applying the pressure to the Marian attack.
Stoughton on the throw-in. She is a senior from Columbus East, so again, she is one of the more experienced players on this team. And that'll be a foul against Walters. Walters, a multiple sport star here at Marian University. Track and field athlete as well. Free kick coming on the reset. And it's Toish that will take that. Now Stowers. Right idea on that ball, just Hollingshead had just broken off the run. Johnson will launch this one back towards midfield. Good takeaway by the Spartans. A second takeaway by Missouri Baptist. And optimistic ball here that doesn't get through to a teammate.
Marian uncharacteristically putting themselves under a little bit of unnecessary pressure by taking that extra touch. They did a good job off of that punt from Johnson to retrieve the second ball, but that extra touch put them under pressure and it turned into a turnover.
And again, you're missing a piece along every line today. Koger up top, Taylor in the midfield, Giedel, who's one of your more experienced players, along the back.
Yep.
So, again, there's going to be a bit of learning on the job today for Justin Sullivan's squad.
Agreed, and this could be a good teaching moment at halftime. If Coach Sullivan needs to make some adjustments, one of his recommendations could be, let's get rid of the ball more quickly. Let's not put ourselves into unnecessary pressure, particularly in that defensive back line, transitioning into midfield.
And this was going to be a year of transition regardless. Now you add kind of the injury bug has struck this Marian team. Again, given the competition they play in the Crossroads League, obviously the two teams that made the national championship game, what Indiana Wesleyan has done year in, year out. Grace has been a frequent participant in the national tournament. Taylor receiving votes in the national poll this week. Mm-hmm. Marian checks in number 4, by the way, with their 5-0-1 start to the season. Ball played back to Gabby Matley. She has played every minute so far for Missouri Baptist in the course of the season.
Good job. Get to this ball.
Cora Selma was giving chase but couldn't get to it in time. We saw Cora Selma really play more of a holding midfielder role last year on this Marian squad. Curious to see if potentially that changes. He plays a little further up the pitch this year.
She's getting balls into the attack. I mean, you can see her here with the ball. Again, this is a situation where I think if she's able to lay off that ball to Naomi Walters into space, even to feet, she's creating a dangerous situation for this Missouri Baptist team.
Quezada realized that Walters was the target, just couldn't get it to her.
Great job. Head on a swivel, looking for players to receive and then lay the ball off to.
Crawford deemed to be just a bit offside.
Great bit of combination play there.
Crawford new to the Knights, but not new to college soccer. She is one of the handful of Division I transfers on this Marian squad. She played at Samford down in Birmingham. And obviously that is the luxury that Coach Sullivan has, being here in Indianapolis, and given the track record of success that he and then Gary Yohe before him have built here at Marian. This is an attractive destination for players that want to return closer to home, that, again, maybe realize that, Division I experience was not all it was cracked up to be.
It impresses me to see the players that he picks up, because he finds players not just because they have a Division I pedigree, but he finds the ones that fit his style and the program that he's trying to create, and some great additions over the years. Get it down.
Good job to knock this ball forward. Mallon hustling back for Marian. Potentially opportunity from the edge of the box, and again, it was well defended. You had two defenders plus Johnson had eyes on it, but If you're Missouri Baptist, that's not a bad shot to take because, I'm not sure how much possession you're going to get to have in this match.
Yeah, I mean, Hollingshead showed some speed there, and she's got some decent feet to control that ball. I think there was a situation, though, where Stratman might needed to use her body a little bit more, get a little bit of a shoulder, maybe a little bit of a hip into her in order to ward her off the ball.
Flicked forward by Quezada. Walters was trying to find Crawford. And now Byers will hustle back and track it down.
Good, one more. Keep it moving quickly. Good
and
pressure.
Cora Selma gets fouled. Today's match on ISC presented by our friends at AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. Special thanks AAA Roofing for their support of Marian Athletics. Laney Harshany.
Way to use the body to protect the ball.
That's Quezada winning that ball back in the midfield.
Nice job of holding her off.
That was Madeline Lombardo that she had to fend off from the Spartans. But Missouri Baptist gets it right back, and Stratman plays it towards the tackling sleds.
Missouri Baptist doing a nice job of applying pressure coming out of the midfield into the attack. Really doing a good job of putting this back four of Marian on their heels a little bit.
A throw-in coming for the Spartans. In Missouri Baptist with 4 different players that have scored a goal so far this year. Morgan Hollenbach, Abby Layton, Maddie Mrazek, and Gabby Wood have all been goal scorers on the season.
Goalkeeper's ball. There we go.
Johnson really has been challenged one time so far in this match.
Good job.
Now Walters will track back, and while she didn't make the play, ends up being the best play that could happen for Marian.
And does a nice job of getting around and into a spot at the top of the attacking group.
Flag stays down for Crawford here. Crawford trying to work around the defender, but nowhere to go. Toish then will ricochet that ball off of Crawford. We had a chance to see Toish on the ISC Sports Network this summer because she played her soccer in the W League for St. Charles, an opponent of the Indy 11.
Yeah.
Flick forward for Crawford, but Crawford was offside, but you love the speed of thought from Naomi Walters.
Yeah, that was great. Crawford just could not get that extra step onside quickly enough. I think what you're seeing in the early going here is the versatility of Naomi Walters, a player who can receive the ball but also does a nice job of dishing it off. She keeps her head up. She looks for alternatives other than herself just taking it to the goal.
That is off a Missouri Baptist player, at least I thought it was. Assistant referee had another idea, and his opinion is valued much more than mine. Throw in coming from Missouri Baptist. Quickly back in the hands of the Knights now. Here's Mallon. The freshman in Harshany that plays it forward to Stoughton. And a throw in coming again for the Knights. Good close out by Quezada, but still the distribution here for the Spartans.
Step into that ball good.
That's exactly what Harshany did. One of several freshmen that we're seeing for the first time. Crawford up.
Yeah.
Flag goes up. Again, was just kind of in the hip pocket that time of the defender. Good high line being held by the Spartans. But frankly, if you're Marian, you like the fact that they're pushing the envelope there, and great job by our cameras to show you. And frankly, it is even easier when you're playing with the football lines on the field,
right,
to kind of have that point of reference, off or not. That was the right call.
Get it down.
Quezada held up. Yep, foul. Lombardo, the player that has whistled for the infraction. Both goalkeepers credited with one save so far here in the opening 14 minutes. Selma, a deft touch. Walters couldn't get back to it. Interesting to see Walters track back a little further back in midfield, maybe, Mark, than I would have expected or we saw a year ago on some of those plays.
Yeah, because I think she's playing as much more than a pure target player. She's needed now to be a ball distributor as well. She's got players running off of her, creating some different dangerous situations.
Right idea by Harshini, just couldn't get it past that last defender. And the ball intended for Walters. But for a young team with some pieces missing, you see a good connectivity from this Marian squad.
Yeah, it's helpful for them, particularly right in this game, that you've got a Missouri Baptist team that's laying off of them a little bit in the midfield. Defensive pressure's not really intensifying until they get to about the 18-yard line. But by the time they get there, it's giving them enough time to find target players to lay the ball to.
So second corner of the match coming up for Marian. They'll play it short to Decker. Decker awaits the overlapping run. Cora Selma has a hit.
Right.
Follow up, didn't get as much on as she wanted to get. That hit a Missouri Baptist defender on the way in, which then careened that ball into the post on the near side.
Well orchestrated corner kick.
Oftentimes when we say from the training pitch, that sometimes there's a negative connotation. Not there. That was well done by Marian.
Yeah, I mean, they were using Walters as sort of a back post decoy there. You saw she had 2-3 players around her playing that short corner and then leaving it at the top of the 18 for that shot. That's a great effort.
There's Harshini from Troy, Illinois. Triad High School. Walters got.
Give it. Wants the ball.
Quezada. Good change of thought there by Quezada. Now Stoughton. And Walters sprinting for the 6. Ball goes her way. Left foot. Couldn't steer it on frame. She had stayed onside. That would have been a good goal had it happened, but you hear the applause from the Marian fans. Good build-up there by the Knights.
Well, good build-up in large part because Stoughton played that early ball into Walters. She got it to the spot. Walters was able to take it off that one skipping bounce and get a good inside of her foot onto it.
Today's match presented by our friends at Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and get some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights.
Pressure, pressure.
This Missouri Baptist squad, this is kind of par for the course in terms of their schedule. This is the second of 4 ranked teams they are playing in their non-conference slate.
It sounds like a pretty tough schedule it's been put
It
together.
is. Marian was something similar. Again, their one draw was against Embry Riddle out in Arizona. Got a victory over Ottawa of Arizona on Monday.
Embry-Riddle, typically a pretty good team.
Absolutely, number 9 in the country. Good read there by Decker. Decker's got Crawford to her immediate left. Walters, longer distance, takes a turn off a defender. Crawford has a hit, gets it past the keeper, but also steers it just wide. There was a touch there, so a corner coming for Marian, a third in the opening 20 minutes.
Good execution there. I mean, a nice attempt to get the ball to Walters, but picked up on the right side. I thought that shot had a really good chance of getting in there. Nice save by the goalkeeper.
So it's Mallon that will take this kick from the near side, corner flag. Couple options short. This one all the way to the near post, and the idea was flick this back post for Walters, just couldn't get to it. And eventually a throw-in coming from Marian. This Missouri Baptist team went 12-5-2 last season, but did not qualify for the NAIA postseason, which may be the explanation as to why they are playing the schedule in which they are during non-conference play. Look at that flip throw. My goodness. That was a rocket.
That's a weapon.
Crawford one touch and didn't get it to go through. And there is deemed to be an infraction against Marian inside of the box, but that's something new.
Admittedly, it's been about 30 years since I've seen a flip throw. The last person I saw do it was a player for the University of Virginia, a guy by the name of Vogel Wallace, who could throw the ball to the opposite post. And it really was a weapon, not only because of the distance he was able to get off of the flip throw, but the distraction it creates for the players as they're like thinking about, I just saw a flip throw.
Well, obviously, when this is the first time we've seen some of these Marian players and the young lady in Harshney that just threw that. But I caught myself the kind of inner monologue as watching the film, like, you know, everybody's inside of the 6 for Marian on this throw. She must have something. She must have a cannon. Now you see why.
Yeah, you see why. Well, the velocity you get from incorporating that, I mean, incredibly powerful weapon to have in your arsenal.
That's off a Marian defender in Decker. Throw in coming for the Spartans.
And it's funny you were saying that about your inner dialogue. The inner dialogue that I was having before that throw was, boy, they're doing a really good job of getting a lot of these restart opportunities. And
yes, they are. And on a couple of different corners and that throw, they're getting results. They're getting the ball exactly where they want it to. They just haven't cashed in yet to this point.
Well, yeah, and you know, the thing that I like is there's been instances where they've been targeting Naomi Walters, whether it's her head or, you know, getting a ball to her with a flick, but they've also used her as a decoy, and others have stepped up and been dangerous.
Helicopter traffic going by, which is rare since we're normally in the flight path of the Indianapolis International Airport. Different type of aviation-based noise than we're used to hearing on these Marian broadcasts. And those of you watching, say maybe from the Missouri Baptist perspective, we are just to the northeast of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We are just to the northwest of downtown Indianapolis. And yes, we are not far from the Indianapolis International Airport, where you St. Louis, Missouri folks would often drive by on your way to Indianapolis to get to downtown. Greg Rakestraw, Mark Newman with you about the midway point of half number 1. Marian has had more of the chances. Missouri Baptist has created some chances in their own right. Johnson does have one save for the Knights. We're scoreless as we approach 22 minutes in. Now Mallon could not keep that in play. Throw in coming now for Missouri Baptist. Mallon might have gotten away with one that time.
Hold that. Got to get players forward.
Walters again was the target. And a throw in coming close to the midfield stripe for the Knights. And again, because of just how player friendly the weather conditions are, that will be a foul against the Spartans. You've not seen Marian even get a player up. They really have one player kind of loosening to sub in here at this midway stage of the half, because these are about as easy a conditions as you'd like from a player's perspective.
Yeah. Missouri Baptist was getting at Marian a little bit in the early going of this match. They've sort of settled back and adopted more of a defensive posture. But you're also seeing in Marian's midfield, there's a little bit more jogging in midfield as opposed to sprinting to spots. But they probably, since they're controlling play at the moment, they're probably not feeling a need to really play with that sense of urgency that the goal will come. the scoring opportunity will come.
Mallon sends it in. Walters the obvious target. Quezada tried to flick that one forward and frankly whiffed on it. Coroselma quickly over. Good shoulder to shoulder there. Ball kept in play by the Spartans, but Marian had numbers back. Fires the target. She'll step on it before it threatens to cross the touchline.
One more.
Stratman. Good pressure by Missouri Baptist.
Somebody's got to get to the ball. Slow it down.
Distribution finds Hollingshead. Now Stowers joins in the mix.
Easy one.
Quezada finds Walters.
Good job.
And now this ball played into space, and Crawford will track it down. Matley well off her line. Matley now has time to recover.
That was a nice little burst of speed by Grace Crawford. That's sort of something to keep in the back of your mind here, that you've got an additional attacking player that can really find that extra gear.
Crawford on the season has 1 goal and 1 assist. She's getting her 6th start of the season today in 7 matches played. Very content to allow the Spartans to pass it around the back for a little bit. As the bell goes off for the bottom of the hour here on campus. And Marian, knowing they're down a handful of players today, I think they're content to buy a minute or two here and kind of take a little more oxygen than kind of forcing the tempo.
Well, this is a great opportunity. I mean, we're able to see it here from our perch, the shape that Marian is able to maintain. This is, for those players that don't play an awful lot, here's an opportunity for them to demonstrate their understanding of Coach Sullivan's system, their ability to maintain their shape within this system, and play good, disciplined balls to one another. Pressure that.
Decker responds in kind, misses. Byers had stepped up and is able to quickly retreat back. Now Johnson has the ball played back to her.
Good job.
And that'll be a throw-in coming for the Knights, and they will also have a substitution entering for the first time. So Jensen Summers, so again, familiar face. She is from Noblesville, which has turned into perhaps the preeminent girls high school soccer power in the state. But she, too, a Division I transfer from a year or two ago. She played at Valparaiso before making her way back to the Indianapolis area. Byers will have a seat. Byers will sit for the remaining 18 minutes of half number 1. Byers, a freshman from St. Ursula Academy in Cincinnati.
One more, get it out of pressure.
There's a turnover. A hit from distance. Maybe a bit too optimistic that time for Missouri Baptist. Want to thank our friends at BSN. They are the preferred provider of apparel for Marian University athletics. Hello, Grasshopper. That is not a nickname for Mark. That is really a grasshopper that hopped, bumped, or flew in. And my partner, who has a job where he operates in the public interest, just kindly picked up the grasshopper, deposited him outside of the broadcast booth. Walters trying to turn. Left foot, have a hit. Walters!
What a great turn.
Just bent that one wide, but it's not just athleticism. It's skill for that young lady as well.
That was a great demonstration. The little pirouette where she sort of pulls that ball back from her right foot and drops it to her left. That was really a highly technical move and got off a great shot.
Just pulled that one a little bit wide, or that could have easily been a highlight reel goal for a 1-goal advantage. Tush will play it over to Matley. And the two center backs just flare wide to the edge of the 18s, and Marian right now is content to stare at him for a little bit.
We're approaching 30 minutes in. I'm wondering if there's some thought being given to applying a higher degree of pressure as we hit the 30-minute mark.
And here comes Quezada flying at Matley. And again, let's also acknowledge, because we talked about players being out for Marian. I'll go back to something I said a few minutes ago as well. This is their 4th match in 8 days. I think there is a Marian standpoint, hey, let's save a little something for the end.
Yep.
They play again on Wednesday. It's here against a good Northwestern Ohio team. Then after that, there's a 10-day gap where Marian can get a little bit healthy. Clean tackle deemed to be made by Harshany.
Here we go. There's a turnover. Ooh!
Just couldn't pounce on it, could Quezada.
She did a nice job of using her body to try and protect that ball and turn it. Need a midfield partner to step in, get control of the ball for her.
And a throw-in coming for the Knights. Coriselmo gives chase, but could not track it down. Opportunity here for Missouri Baptist.
Nice switch of play there. Good ball. Has to wait for it a little bit, but good instinctive ball played there.
Back to the relative safety of Matley at the edge of the 18.
Matley likes to play well off her line coming out for these balls, but a moment ago she really put herself into trouble because she got closer to the 20, almost 25-yard line, and you saw Quezada close her down a little bit, and she panicked. This is where you want to pick up the pressure. You want to start going a little bit more man-to-man. If Missouri Baptist is going to demonstrate that they want to play possession in the back, knock it around, you have to pounce. You have to develop sort of a hunter mentality here.
Coriselmo trying to nudge that ball towards Harshany. Walters, can she win the foot race?
Being opportunistic.
She does. Left foot and missed it again. Well, there's been a couple of chase cases where Marian's maybe had a touch or two in front of them. And Walters just steered that one wide left.
Yeah, Marian's doing a good job now of sort of waiting in anticipation and then pouncing on these opportunities. You've seen a few of these instances here with Missouri Baptist trying to knock it around the back a little bit, maybe a little too nonchalantly. And the higher skill and the better soccer IQ is winning out for Marian.
First substitution this match coming in for Missouri Baptist. Get those to you on the fly. Throw in coming here, and again, let's see if we see the tilt-a-whirl throw in here by Harshany. Given the run-up she's taken, you would assume so, using all the space that's given to her. That's amazing to watch.
Yep.
That one at the edge of the 6, and Stratman kind of took a tumble that time. If she had not, she'd have been right there when that ball was nudged to her.
Time. Head up, though.
Deflected off of the Missouri Baptist player. Good recovery by Mallett. Play that off of Madeline Lombardo. By the way, Gianna Gore and Maddie Donahue, the two players that have entered the match for Missouri Baptist. Giveaway by Cora Selma. Opportunity here.
Contain the player, contain this player. Nice job.
That's exactly what Summers did. Met her at the ball. That was literally Gore's first touch of the match.
Nice job with that sweeping left foot to clear that ball away.
Well, Marion's buildup has been excellent. Their opportunities created, even though they have been judicious in terms of when to press, they have created those opportunities.
Well, and they throw 10 players into the attack. I mean, see how they move as a unit of 10 attacking players here. What it opens up, unfortunately for them, is a counterattack moment that Missouri Baptist can take advantage of. The only times when they've truly been dangerous, Missouri Baptist, is when they've slipped balls or played big balls over the top and caught Marian too far up.
7 shots so far for the Knights. Just 2 of those have been on frame.
There we go.
Decker.
In the box, get in the box.
With the leave, and that'll be a goal kick, so a missed opportunity of the cross by the Knights.
Missed opportunity, but love seeing Naomi Walters making her near post run, being patient with that. And then you also had Stoughton doing a nice job of getting to the back post there. Completely unmarked.
Caitlin Snyder will have a seat for the rest of the half for Missouri Baptist. And Marian content to kind of wait for the opportunity to contest these passes along the back line. Harshini read that one perfectly. Cora Selma finds Quezada.
Give it. Slip that ball.
Crawford looking for Quezada. Crawford couldn't make the turn. Marian needs to be in retreat mode. 3v4 here for Missouri Baptist. All play to the right side. Have a hit from distance. Johnson.
Good job.
Snared it.
See, this is that instance where you see Missouri Baptist becoming immediately dangerous because they can play that counterattacking ball and catch Marian pushed up.
Hollenbeck with the shot taken, her first of the match. And Hollenbeck is a goal scorer this year for the Spartans. It's off the boot of a Missouri Baptist player. Throw in coming for the Knights in front of their own bench. Last touch by Stowers. By the way, Casey Watson is in there as well for Missouri Baptist. So they have played 3 subs in half number 1. Marian has played just 1 to this point. And because of injuries, it might be a rather limited group. That'll be a foul on Stratman. A chance for the Spartans to try to find a runner inside of the 18 here.
But Hollenbeck actually did a nice job of getting her knee caught on that.
That was a quick restart. Yep, on the touch, trying to catch Marian Knappen. Looking back post. Good recovery by the Knights. Not out of danger just yet. Now Johnson.
Good job. Good
eventually
job.
Track it down.
Way to come off.
That was kind of caught by the Marian bench, or it was the players. Hey, there was a touch there. The ball's live.
Mm-hmm.
But the Knights recover in the nick of time. Johnson played 77 minutes in 2 matches last year. Had played 45 minutes this season. As we'll get some subs coming in for both teams. Claire Anderson will come on now for Missouri Baptist. For Marian, Kylie Jones, who we saw play up top, especially early in the season last year for Marian. And that's a foul. Goal kick coming for Marian. I think they're going to give the goal kick and not the foul, just the goal kick.
Good.
Johnson played on the developmental team for a good chunk of last year. And again, that's one of the things that Marian has the luxury of doing. They have a developmental squad, and I'm not sure there is a position that is better for than the backup goalkeeper.
Yeah. I mean, it's a position that experience is so critical. Minutes, not just minutes standing in goal, but minutes having the pressure of being in goal, having to deal with shots, having to make decisions and the like. She's done a very good job thus far with her decision making, coming off of her line when she's needed to, demonstrated some very good reactions on a couple critical saves, not easy saves. So she's so far in this first 40 or so minutes really performed very well.
Jones.
Body, head up, head up, head up.
Crawford trying to work through 3 defenders. It will be a throw in now for Marian. Once again, Marian on the throw. Her efforts, Jones coming in. She had 2 starts last year, had 1 goal and an assist. Played in 17 matches in total.
Coming in for the Knights is number 40, Kylie Conrad.
So Conrad now will enter for Marian. Conrad has a goal and 2 assists this year. She's played in all 6 matches so far. She's averaged 40 minutes a match off the bench, has Conrad. Conrad, a sophomore from Brownsburg. Again, they will bring in Harshini for the throw. You can tell everybody now heads inside of the 6. Keeper was off her line, but no damage done as Quezada, her header steered that one left. But what a weapon that is for Marian.
Turnover here, good.
Summers will just simply hit a real estate ball to get that out of danger. 2 more Missouri Baptist players will wait to enter the fray when given the opportunity. And they'll do so now. Maggie Evans and Leah Maxwell will both come on.
Subbing in from Missouri Baptist is number 9, Maggie Evans, and number 7, Leah Maxwell.
Good job by Summers.
Nice.
That was a dangerous look that was setting up for Missouri Baptist. Mary not out of trouble just yet. But what you are starting to see is Missouri Baptist starting to put a little more emphasis on putting some more numbers forward here.
Yeah, they're testing Marian in the back to see what they're made of, which is not uncommon. I mean, in the last 5-10 minutes of a match or of a half, you see teams apply greater pressure, see if they can force a turnover.
Just an errant pass that time by Missouri Baptist. Kind of lost track of the placement on the field on that ball.
Give it.
Seen Walters kind of a bit more isolated up top by Marian as of late. Crawford getting a breather as Conrad came on to replace her. Stratman. Summers. Good win. A throw in coming for the Knights with 2.5 minutes left to go before halftime. If you're Justin Sullivan, how are you feeling about your team's performance in the opening 45?
I think you're feeling good about it. I mean, you know, no goals, of course, have come from their effort thus far, but this Missouri Baptist team has done a pretty good job in the back. However, they've shown a few gaps, and I think he's going to have some things to say to them at the halftime that might turn the tide here.
That was a great job by Quezada. Just Conrad stepped over that ball at the very end. Chance created that did not lead to a shot on goal. Coroselma and Quezada make a pretty potent 1-2 combination in terms of connecting to each other.
Agree. Give it, give it. See that overlapping run there.
Down to less than 90 seconds. Jones trying to work this ball to the touchline, to the byline, and then her effort steers wide left.
You had that overlapping run by Jones just before she received that ball where she really would have taken the defender by surprise and could have turned that corner.
1 minute remaining.
Under 60 seconds now to go before we get to our halftime intermission. And the numbers favor Marian in terms of the stats, but the numbers that matter on your screen, still goose eggs on both sides. Mallon on the recovery. Johnson will come and step on this one. With the countdown going on in the background.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Not much you can do at that point, and that will be that of half number one. Well, from Missouri Baptist, they have come and given a good accounting of themselves, and against the defending runners-up in NAIA soccer from a season ago, it is a scoreless draw at St. Vincent Field. Highlights, halftime stats, and second half thoughts all come your way next. You're watching Marian University Women's Soccer here on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
Everyone here is about helping you succeed. It's hard work, but it's totally worth it.
I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
My professors really challenge me, and I know I'll be ready for my career.
A great education is the best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Back on the beautiful campus of Marian University, those stands you see on the field, that's the visiting stands for football You'll see those full tonight when St. Xavier of Chicago makes their way down to take on the Marian University Knights. That rivalry dates back to Marian's first year of football in 2007. Scott McCauley, Zach Graves have the call for you coming up tonight at 6 o'clock right here on the ISC Sports Network. Currently, Greg Rakestraw, Mark Newman. Women's soccer, 0-0 between Missouri Baptist and number 4 Marian. This portion of our halftime show was brought to us by Indiana Members Credit Union. Proud to support Marian University and now offering a free Marian University Knights debit card. The card is included when you open a free IMCU checking account. Get your Marian University Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. As per usual, Marcus, you have been scribbling notes away since the halftime show began. What are the professor's observations on half number 1?
Well, I mean, it's been a dominant game on the part of the Marian Knights. They've really controlled the play. You've seen Missouri Baptist get at them in instances, but it really has been off of counter-attacking football. That is turnovers in the back or saves or whatever and trying to spring Marian Baptist players, so they've gotten a few chances at goal that way. But you've got Shea Johnson, who's really come up big, doing a very, very nice job in goal today. Having not played a lot yet this season, but now being called into the role of goalkeeper, starting goalkeeper because of the injury that occurred. Looking to the second half for Marian, for them to get a ball into the net, I think they're going to have to capitalize a little bit more on second balls. You're saying second balls, that sort of came out of nowhere. But where they're losing possession is off of balls that are either kicked out or thrown out by either goalkeeper, set plays, free kicks, and the like. Their ability to maintain possession, win those second balls to do so, that's going to be one of the difference makers for them. And then to be able to move the ball more quickly, limit touches to 1-2 touches as opposed to taking that extra, that third or fourth one, which gets them into trouble.
Those 3 coaches you saw chatting on screen for a couple of moments. The head coach and Justin Sullivan had his back to you. That is Mike Beckner, assistant coach on the left, and Doug Starnes wearing the sweet white Marian University lid on the right-hand side of that shot. Numbers from half number 1, Marian outshot Missouri Baptist 8-4, but of note, shots on goal were equal at 3 apiece. 5 fouls called against the Spartans, 3 against Marian. 3 corners for Marian, just 1 in the opening couple of minutes for Missouri Baptist. The offside flag went up 3 times against the Knights and just once against Missouri Baptist. Again, some near misses in half number 1. We'll show you some of those when we come back. We'll look at our first half highlights. Again, our score at the break, Marian at 0, Missouri Baptist 0. More halftime show comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business over 35 years. I'm here with Joe Polizzi to talk emergency services. Now, Joe, when I set my house on fire with a toaster, you were actually in my yard before the firefighters left.
Well, Pat, I remember that call like it was yesterday, and although I was disappointed that it was yours, I was happy that I was going to be able to provide some assistance.
You know, this true story, a firefighter actually told me I needed to call someone for emergency services, kind of obvious, and I told him Michaelis was on the way. He said, great, because they're the real deal. Joe, now what do you do in these situations when you show up?
Well, we try to be a calming influence, and we try to find out what the needs are of the family. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's desires are different. What we try to do is match what we could provide with what they need and do it very smoothly.
I've lived it. If you find yourself needing emergency restoration service in the wake of a fire, flood, or storm, give the Michaelis Corporation a call anytime, 24/7, 844-FIX-INDY.
Who's got time for hot dogs and disco music? Your mind's cluttered with thoughts of commercial waste removal. So thank the good Lord above for Ray's Trash. Ray's will collect the intolerable rubbish at all your company's locations up to 6 times a week. That's 42 times in dog weeks. They shred documents and recycle too. And Ray's has roll-off containers for big loads, like construction waste or when your giant dies. Got a business? Get yourself to raystrash.com.
Raystrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Halftime rolls along here from St. Vincent Field near northwest side of Indianapolis. 0-0 between Marian and Missouri Baptist here in NAIA women's soccer. This portion of the halftime show brought to us by Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. If saving money is important to you, visit Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, a proud sponsor of Marian Athletics. Tom O'Brien is Indy's preferred Jeep dealer with 2 locations and the biggest Jeep inventory in Indiana. To show our support, Tom O'Brien will donate $200 to Marian for every car any student, parent, employer, friend of Marian buys when you mention this promo. Go Knights and go to Tom O'Brien to see how our family works for you since 1933. We'll get a look at the first half highlights, and again for Marian, it was about chances created, about near misses, and again, Mark, I was very impressed on what this team did in terms of set pieces and obviously those flip throws that we saw from Harshini.
Yeah, I mean, they've really done a nice job of capitalizing on those set pieces, those restart opportunities. In fact, that's where they've been the most dangerous. And when you put the opposition on their heels in those situations, it opens up other opportunities through the run of play.
Crawford, again, just could not get as much in that shot as she would want to. And again, this bit of skill by Walters
that was beautiful.
Was impressive to behold. Literally missed a goal by a matter of inches.
Yeah, she's been dangerous a couple times so far. I think she'll be able to stick one if she continues to get the ball. There you see it again. Just that is just a wonderful bit of creativity.
And again, Walters, 21 goals last season, 6 goals so far this season, and that is probably the most glaring miss for Marian so far in this match. When the keeper is that far out, defender couldn't close out in time, Walters knows if she just simply keeps that on the ground, that's probably a 1-0 lead for Marian.
Agreed. I mean, you saw Naomi Walters. That's sort of her patented opportunity. We saw a number of goals last year scored in much the same way that she took that shot there. But it makes me think, too, about how this Missouri Baptist team is defending. They like to play their backs up. Their goalkeeper likes to come off of her line maybe a little too eagerly, so that can be an opportunity.
3 shots on target for Missouri Baptist. You just saw 2 of them. The first one was the only shot that's really kind of come from inside of the 18 for Missouri Baptist, and that was on a corner that took place less than 2 minutes in. So we have obviously looked at this from the perspective of the head coach of the Knights and Justin Sullivan. If you're Dino Merrick's squad, and you're Dino Merrick, the head coach at Missouri Baptist, you're thrilled. Again, you're playing the national runner-up. You're 1-3, and you've got them on level ground at halftime, 0-0. What, if anything, do you change in terms of how you attack if you're the visitors from St. Louis?
I mean, counterattacking football is their answer. I mean, they've demonstrated in the first half that they can do it with some effect. They just have to be opportunistic. I mean, they're not going to beat Marian technically through buildup that comes through the midfield. They're going to have to look for these opportunities, whether it's a big ball over the top or a long through ball on the ground into on-running defenders or attacking players' feet.
Again, 0-0 our score at the break. Stu Toon. Second half action is not that far away from the campus of Marian University as you're watching NAIA Women's Soccer here on the ISC Sports Network.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business for 35-plus years. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Hey, Richard, what's the key to the growth over the last 35 years?
Pat, I believe being a family-owned local business that is involved in the community has a lot to do with it.
All right, so you have a lot of services. Tell us about some of those services.
We're really, really strong in the emergency services, smoke, fire damage restoration, storm and water damage restoration, all while working with your insurance company. We also do mold remediation, basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and roof repair. We are a full-service company.
All right, as to the owner, we know you wear a lot of hats. What do you do day to day?
I really love being out in the field working with our clients. It gives me a great opportunity to understand their needs so we can take care of them.
Your hands-on approach, I think, is a lot to do with the success of Michaelis. If you find yourself needing their services, give them a call anytime, 24/7 at 844-FIX-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation. Construct, renovate, restore.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marian my best.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Missouri Baptist has made their way back to the field for half number 2. The Knights of Marian will join them momentarily. This portion of our coverage presented by our friends at First On Site, formerly More Restoration. They are here to help you through whatever comes your way, from fire and flood to catastrophic storms or biohazards. They have the team, technology, and resources to help you restore, rebuild, and rise. Go Knights. We referenced this earlier in the broadcast off the start. This is our first Marian telecast, and frankly, I ran out of fingers and toes long ago to be able to tell you how many different broadcasts we'll have this season on ISC. The next time we will be here will be 4 hours after this one for football. You've heard me reference that a couple of times. We've got football here against Olivet Nazarene next Saturday as well. But in addition, you see volleyball, men's soccer, and women's soccer during the fall. You'll see a slew of basketball games during the winter. We're thrilled to bring you a couple of wrestling matches for the first time this year in January and February as well. And we get to March and April. That becomes lacrosse, softball, baseball, all televised courtesy of our friends at Marian University. So thank you, Mitch Huppert. Thank you, Steve Danning. Thank you, President Dan Elsner, and all the good people at Marian that continue to partner with us on the ISC Sports Network. So our next non-football broadcast of Marian University Athletics, that will be a week from this Wednesday when the volleyball team takes on Bethel in the early stages of Crossroads League play. Myself and Gene Kesterson have that one for you Wednesday, September the 20th at 7 o'clock. Be sure to join us in the PE Center for that one on the ISC Sports Network. Mark, what do you expect here from these opening moments of half number 2?
Well, I think it would be wise for the Marian Knights if they were to come out fast here, see if they can steal a quick goal and get a 1-0 lead going into this this second half. I mean, what Missouri Baptist has demonstrated is some resilience through the course of that first 45 minutes that has been able to, they've been able to hold off the Marian Knights. So the longer this thing goes, the more I start to worry a little bit. Is this going to end in a 0-0 draw, or will Marian be able to stick one here?
By the way, let's reference the team in orange today. Our referee is Donald Williams. Joseph Cadenas and Malik Odrigi are our assistant referees for today's game. No real advantage in terms of whether you're heading north or south as the team flip ends for half number 2. A little bit of a tailwind coming from the north. Not sure you'd call this Chamber of Commerce weather, but from a player's perspective, it could be no better.
Right.
Temperatures in the upper 60s, a bit of a cool breeze. We are not in need of hydration breaks in today's match, let's put it that way.
Not today.
Crawford returns after being subbed out for the tail end of half number 1. Quick glance of the starters for Marian. Only Jones will stay of the substitutes. Looks like Jensen Summers will do so as well. So 9 of 11 starters return to start half number 2.
Body is your body.
Walters nudges that one for a teammate to the left side. But the connecting pass is not made, and Missouri Baptist decides to give it right back. be moment here that's going to be a foul on Summers. Credit Hollenbeck for forcing the issue from Missouri Baptist. Again, their restarts have been very quick. Not sure if that's just kind of their style or perhaps something they caught on film against Marian.
This was an opportunity for Marian, actually, Naomi Walters, to recognize a counterattacking opportunity and use her speed.
If Quezada could have slid that ball through to Crawford, she had an opportunity there.
Bit of a hospital ball there. Got to play that with pace. If you're going to play that ball, and the left side needs to come to it with a little bit more speed.
Here's Jones again, late first half substitution. Ball goes all the way back to Johnson. Barring a change at the keeper position in this second half, which would be if something would unfortunately happen to Shea, this will be the first time that she has gotten the full 90 in what would be a varsity level match at Marian. She played 45 minutes earlier this season, played a combined total of 77 minutes last season. And she has been up to the challenge so far today. Decker.
Give it, nice.
Does exactly that to Crawford. Crawford just trying to find an angle to the byline, and Walters was the target, didn't get through. Throw in coming for the Marian Knights.
Good bit of defending there by Missouri Baptist.
And Decker knows her job is simply to place the ball and let Harshini go to work. There may need to be some cone removal here for Harshini. She's in the training area. And again, with the joy of having the track here, she gets pretty lengthy run up here. This is flip throw number 4 of the day. This one steers a little bit wide of the 6. Do you get out the long jump or the pole vault mat that's on the other side of the soccer field and practice those if you're Harshini?
Good question. I've always thought it was easier, or not that I would know from firsthand experience of doing it, but it seems to me that it would be easier to do this on turf than it would be to do that on grass.
Absolutely.
It's more stable ground.
Opportunity here, but
nice.
Bit of a bobble.
Yeah, but that's a good dangerous ball. I mean, I think you're seeing, hopefully you're registering this in your mind. You're seeing, yes, the goalkeeper comes off of her line, but she's a little bit tentative for some of these balls, and that's where you have to capitalize on deflections, bobbles, things that bounce off. Good job, Naomi.
Walters read that one, forced the issue. It will be a goal kick.
So we're talking at halftime a little bit about applying more pressure on these backs. It looks like Marian has picked up on that a bit, and they are beginning to apply pressure and forcing some possession errors on the part of Missouri Baptist.
Matley coming into the match and allowed 7 goals this season. It picked up 30 saves on the year as well. She's been credited with 3 saves so far today.
Second ball here. Good body. Good job of protecting the ball.
Selma weaves her way through traffic.
But they're going the wrong way.
True.
Got to get it forward. Got to get it forward here.
Walters was hoping to find a teammate there and couldn't do it. And the longer that this match stays 0-0, the more the belief grows for Missouri Baptist.
Get it the other way.
Johnson just kind of sizing up her options.
There we go. Get around her, Sophie. Good.
Behind Crawford, Quezada trying to latch onto it. Toish knocks it forward.
So as Quezada and Decker become more and more familiar with one another, you're going to hopefully start to see Quezada begin playing those balls into space so Sophie doesn't have to wait for it to get to her feet and draw the defender. She's getting it into space and able to be at a full sprint as that ball is moved to the flank.
Gabby Wood, the player that committed the foul there for Missouri Baptist.
There we go. Give it. Now we go. Now we go. Come on.
This is Jones. Couldn't make the connecting pass to Walters.
Head up.
Quezada with a quick glance at Decker.
She's doing a great job of scanning. She's one of those players that has such great technical ability and does a nice job keeping her head up.
And a corner drawn by Marian Decker. Couldn't find her teammate, but Caitlin Snyder got her leg in the way, so. And Marian has created chances from all of these. Kylie Jones heading to the corner flag, and the voice you heard of that said Kylie twice, that was Coach Sullivan, with a brief bit of instruction for Kylie before she sends this in.
So this has got to be a driven ball into the 6, into the 6.
Exactly what she did. Head to it. Matley is there.
Good challenge.
Mallon was in front of her, but did not distract the keeper in the slightest.
That was a dangerous ball. Nicely orchestrated corner kick there.
And Matley's distribution is off. Marian wants to restart quickly.
Let's go take advantage of this. That's going to be a pretty sandy long throw if she decides to go with it.
Which is why Harshini is staying put. Not using it here with the exposed long jump pit.
Nice job. Oh, I thought she played I thought she heeled that into the foot of the Missouri Baptist player. Huh. Pressure this, pressure this.
Cora Selma headed thinking a teammate would be there. They weren't. Decker races back. Just getting a boot in is Mallon, and now Cora Selma.
Little breakdown in communication there. Fortunately, Marian came out with it.
Cora Selma can be the eraser in the midfield for Marian.
That's a handball.
That's a handball, yep. You and I and the referee all saw that simultaneously.
He was closer, though. He should have seen it before us, right?
You and I do have cat-like reflexes at our respective advanced ages.
Yes.
Jones couldn't get that ball to Walters. Was onside. If she can kind of just play that ball to space, Walters could have chased it down.
Here we go.
Give away at the back. Crawford.
Slip Naomi.
Has a hit from distance and elected to go of her own accord. And again, when those mistakes have happened, I think Marian's been just a little too anxious in those moments.
Put some pressure here. I would pressure this goalkeeper. We're seeing some tentative reactions out of her, and I would want to force her to play the ball earlier and without a really good, clear decision having been made.
Collision in midfield. Player down from Missouri Baptist. Marian plays on. We'll come back to the midfield if need be. Quezada with the left foot. Missed that one. Now we look back at Hollenbeck is the player that is still trying to kind of get her bearings after the collision. That was her and Harshini that
they've caught a shoulder in the jaw or something, or in the nose.
And building from the back will be Missouri Baptist. And again, Marian is gonna move the point of engagement a little bit further up than they did in half number one.
Good job of forcing play. I want to see Marian make that extra pass. When they get into the attacking third, make that extra pass in order to get the ball beyond the goalkeeper.
Marian has played to one draw this year. It was of the 2-2 variety. It was last weekend in Arizona.
Good ball. Watch this overlapping run here.
Great toe poke by Decker to spring that ball away from Wood. And tried to feed Walters. Summers now will settle. Quezada. And then Decker didn't think Quezada would be in the way of the next pass. Now Snyder on the restart. Good touch here by Missouri Baptist. Stratman able to recover. Quezada,
got under her
good
shoulder.
work.
Good job is right.
It's going to be a throw in. And Quezada saying, hey, I got hooked there.
That's right. She did such a great job of drawing that elbow. I'm surprised that the assistant referee didn't raise this flag.
And I'm glad that you pointed out that's on the AR to make that call because the referee is shielding that scenario. And AR looked at it and elected to keep the flag down.
Pressure here, pressure here.
Quezada's touch just a bit too strong that time. Summers.
Knock it down.
Selma couldn't track that one down. Mrazek finds a teammate.
Good job here.
One of the longer spells of possession for Missouri Baptist in this second half. And again, Decker's fantastic. Just a freshman. Justin Sullivan said surprisingly, he goes, she reminds me so much of her sister, it's uncanny in terms of how she wants to play the game.
Yeah, her sister was pretty effective out on the
no
outside
doubt.
there.
Absolutely. Not enough in it, says the referee, in terms of the collision between Hollenbeck and Gretchen Mallett. Crawford with a takeaway. Plays it left side for Walters, but she's off. Yep, she's off.
That's too bad. Yeah, we need to get more numbers. You get the ball into Naomi's feet like that, you can't stop then and ball watch and expect Naomi to do the job. You've got to get people into spots to be a supporting asset for her.
Marian University Athletics is excited to launch their new strategic fundraising campaign to enhance the student-athlete experience across campus. Because of the generosity of several Marian donors, all new gifts or pledges between September 1st and April of next year to athletic scholarship funds, the Facility Enhancement Fund, will be matched up to $1 million. To make your gift to support these efforts, please visit marian.edu/journey to 2030. Additional information can be found at munites.com. Crawford, great hustle, but
good hustle.
Couldn't get there in time. Mackenzie Doozer does just enough. New face coming in for the Knights. Caitlin Lavezzi will come on. Freshman from Illinois.
Number 52, Kate Lavezzi.
Let's lock them in here. Everybody on the Marian team needs to pick up a player.
Lavezzi being brought in here at the 30-minute mark, you almost wonder if she's told, hey, you just buzz around everything for about 10 minutes. Just play with your hair on fire and chase everything. And then Crawford comes back at some point in time. Quick conversation between referee and the Missouri Baptist coaching staff. That's the reason for the delay. And the conversation still takes place while the ball is at the back. Off of
Pick
Jones.
up a player.
Throwing coming from Missouri Baptist. Lindsey Stoughton awaits to check back in for Marian at the next stoppage in play.
Need this second ball. Need to be able to pick up this second ball. Good D. Pressure, pressure.
Close out there. Jones able to track it down. That takes a bit of a safe return off of the Missouri Baptist player that goes right in the hands of Matley.
Marian doing a nice job of stepping up the pressure here, but they've got to continue to apply it. I want them to exploit the tentativeness of this goalkeeper. She's given away balls unnecessarily in instances, and I think they could turn those into to scoring opportunities. Pressure this, pressure this. There we go. Now go.
Ball finds the feet of Lavezzi.
This is where I feel like their goal is going to come.
Lavezzi, great job just to keep that in play, but I was hopeful that a teammate would latch on to it. Marian played to 2 draws a season ago. Hip check by Stratman. Yep, enough there for the whistle, and Stratman didn't break stride. Just kept on running back to the little further back up the pitch. Trust me, a draw would be an impressive result for the visitors. They're going to try to get one back here, but even though this is a non-conference match, they take the so-called point. Dino Merrick not happy at the not at the whistle at where that ball was served to on that restart from Missouri Baptist. Their game plan has been strong, though. They have managed the game to give themselves a chance in the final 30 minutes. Walters is on.
She was on.
Flag is down, so Walters off to the races.
Do not give it.
Walters has a hit. Walters couldn't get it the first time. Turf lifts it over her boot the second time. Not in a danger just yet. Now here's the hit off the wrong crossbar.
Well, stick that ball when you're given that opportunity.
We are lucky that our broadcast position is exactly where Walters received that ball, and the air got it right. That was a perfectly timed pass. She was onside.
Yep.
Lindsey Stoughton.
You heard Mark say, don't give that. And again, you've got Walters, who scored 21 times last year and 6 times this year. You've got a freshman on the right that just entered the match. Walters is the player you want to taking it there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You know, I mean, she took a great shot, had some good pace on a goalkeeper, was in the right spot for it. Also think about slipping that ball on the ground, demonstrating some great patience and playing the ball low.
Jones.
Good, one more, get it the other way.
So of note, when Stoughton returned, Jones then flipped sides of the field and took the right back position.
Oh,
opportunity here. Mallon just got a boot in there in time.
Nice job of getting that ball out to the flank.
And the flank could have held on to it for a little bit longer.
Right.
Good read by Toish on the far sideline. And a throw in coming for Marian. So Decker getting a breather on the bench currently for Marian.
Been a good couple minutes here from Missouri Baptist. They've been able to swing things in their favor, connect on some passes, and be a little dangerous.
And that will be a card. So first yellow of the match goes against the Knights. I'll go against Korosoma for the high boot, which obviously she made contact. So she is shown yellow.
Yeah, that's automatic. Unfortunately, even unintentional, it's automatic.
So No quick restart here. And again, there's going to be, I don't think this is a conversation. I think this is bringing the player who was hit in the face over to the sideline. There might be blood drawn here. That is Maddie Mrazek that will come to talk to the trainer.
Under her eye, it looks like.
Yep. And so obviously, when you're not, you have unlimited substitutions, this isn't like the pro level where you have to make the decision, am I bringing somebody in or not? In this case, you automatically bring someone in. Claire Anderson is the player that has hopped up, but Mrazek visited the fight doctor, got the blood stopped, and she's ready to go.
I think you could have said Ferdy Pacheco, but nobody would have known what you meant.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. And it's been the shorter free kicks. And if Marian can settle this, well, they don't. So now Baptist has a hit, doesn't get through. At the edge of the 18, you have a long distance shot here. Summers got in the way for Marian. That was Hollingshed that sent that one in. Cora Selma gets a touch at the edge of the 18 for Marian.
Missouri Baptist doing a nice job of keeping the ball in this half of the field.
And as soon as you said that, the broadcaster jinx kicks in.
Yay. It worked.
A sideways pass to no one in particular, and a throw-in coming for Marian. Last year, Marian, again, we mentioned 2 draws. One of those was a match that we were here for against Mount Vernon Nazarene. It was the only time that Marian didn't get the full 3 points in conference play all season. The other was very early in the year against the University of the Cumberlands. And the only loss came in the national championship game against Spring Arbor. That's across the touchline as we hit the bottom of the hour with 24 minutes left to go in this match. Caitlin Snyder looking for the throw. Crawford about to come back in for Marian. As we expected, her break was going to be brief. And it's a Marian team that is playing without 4 starters today due to injury. Starting goalkeeper, Kristen Morgan with a knee injury. Cameron Giedel, senior defender from Zionsville High School.
Stepping back in for Marian is number 5, Grace
Katie
Crawford.
Koger, who has been an impressive transfer from Indiana State University. And Delaney Taylor has been a part of so many wins at Marian. They're all out. So it's been a little less bench used by Coach Sullivan today for the Knights.
Little gappy in the midfield right now. The defending that was taking place there in the first half and the early part of the second half, not quite as strong.
Walters able to get there again. She's onside, and that will be a corner. So again, Jones will head over to take. Set attempt from the corner flag. Stratman and Mallon both come forward. Walter's going to hang a little around the 6. See if she can find her way in. Bending ball. Keeper couldn't completely clear it. Headed down by Mallon. Did it ever cross the line? No. Goal kick. Never got all the way across. Matley had her hands on it, couldn't hang on to it. Just enough traffic to get in the way to prevent Marian from getting that first goal. Let's take a look.
That was a crazy little flurry right there. Underside of the crossbar.
And that's the right call.
Yeah.
Ball sent in, and the flick by Stratman couldn't keep it on frame.
But they'll keep it in. She needs somebody to help her.
Harshany looks to make the turn, cuts it back, but No one there to make a supporting run.
Yeah, did a nice job of splitting those two players, but didn't have any safety valve to release it to.
Another good read by Summers.
Breathed a little life into the Marian team. You're seeing a little bit increased intensity here. Control it.
Jones
nice
just
ball,
got
nice
to it in
ball.
time.
Whip it in, whip it.
Crawford can do the same. Walters has a hit. Matley spelled it.
There's the goal.
Home. There's the goal, and it's the freshman in Lavezzi who delivers the goal for Marian. Knights are on the board with 21 minutes left to go.
Yeah, that was really a fabulous, fabulous goal to see. I mean, it was the work by Harshini that really was the difference maker there, getting that ball end line and whipping it into the box.
Lavezzi in just her fourth
Nice
college
job.
match has her second goal. And the 0-0 deadlock is broken. 1-0 Knights with 21 minutes left to play.
You saw a lot of things at play there. You saw some of the tentativeness that we were talking about in the goal that took place there. A great ball gotten end line, whipped back. Naomi Walters, the distraction she is, the incredible athlete that she is, and then Lavezzi sticking it home.
All right,
Great.
so now let's talk tactics. Now that Marian's got one in the bag, I'm not sure Marian changes how they play. How does Missouri Baptist now have to chase this match down a goal?
Well, they've been playing counterattacking football, but it's been counterattacking football that's come primarily from the wide. Nice save. From the wide areas, I think they're going to want to go a little bit more direct, bigger balls over the top to see if they can spring a player.
Walters wins that one away.
Give it.
And then she got knocked sideways, but frankly, this match has been allowed to be physical going in both directions, and I think big picture that benefits Marian, so you can say, okay, that one gets let go.
Yeah, I think because Marian is such an athletic team and they're a little bit bigger than this Missouri Baptist team, to your point, the physicality favors them. And I just think stylistically that's the way they would prefer to play. Control it.
Marian and these Spartans, Missouri Baptist, this is the fourth time they have met, all of them since 2016. Last year, 2019, 2016. Marian has outscored Missouri Baptist now 7-0 in the 4 matches they have played. Marian trying to make it 6 wins and a draw. That one ended up making contact with the extended arm of the Marian player. Tonight trying to go 6-0-1 in non-conference play with one more non-conference match to go. And that is against the Racers of Northwestern Ohio, who come in here on Wednesday. Good read by the Knights. Long distance ball for Walters. Matley with the read. Walters takes a tumble. Let's hope that she is all right. And she immediately starts clutching at that lower leg, and it's unfortunately the nature of this Marian season. There was no whistle in terms of anything that Matley did there. And for all the injuries that Marian has dealt with, I'm not sure there's a player that spells Walters if she is potentially injured long term.
Right. I'd like to hoping we can see it again, what kind of injury it is, if it's an ankle that is a turned ankle, or if it's one where she's gotten stepped on. Stepped on, I think, is a little less severe.
Of course. So as you see, the clock is stopped with 18:49 left to go.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, she planted there, and you saw her body weight shift onto that ankle, but she also got clocked pretty good.
So obviously the concern continues for Naomi Walters, the senior from Hilliard, Ohio. And she and Erin Alexak both cleared 20 goals a season ago. And the cart is going to be brought on here for Marian. Marian's done a good job of soldiering on through some early season injuries, but at some point all this is going to catch up with you, and you worry this is another brick in the wall this season for the Knights.
Yeah, it becomes real tough here.
So with this injury looking like it's going to take a little bit of time to resolve, I already say that, they're going to help Naomi up. So we were thinking about potentially hopping off, but we'll stay here because she's just going to simply hop to the back of the cart, and they're going to get her to the sidelines in that fashion. We'll go ahead and stay right here. But unfortunately, after just a couple minutes removed from finally getting that breakthrough goal, Marian now sees their leading attacking player clearly in a lot of distress, unable to take herself off of the field. I do believe it's going to be a Marian throw-in, I think. I could be wrong about that. Obviously, Missouri Baptist lining up, but it's going to be their possession. Conrad will come on to replace Walters for Marian. But now your leading two goal scorers in the season for Marian are both now dealing with injuries.
Yeah, you've just got to continue to play. I don't want to see them bunker necessarily, because that creates a bit of a threat. I mean, a lot of things can go south that way. They've got to continue to attack to the extent that they can.
Vezzi did not enter until the second half, so she's got some pretty fresh legs and to chase this up top for the Knights. Mallon. Summers, you heard her telling teammates, mine, I got it. Good communication by the senior from Noblesville. Summers did not get the start, but she has been really impressive today for Marian.
Yeah. This is a decent bit of ball movement here that we're seeing out of Marian. Now, we talked a little bit about at halftime about the need to reduce the number of touches on the ball, reduce it to 1-2 touches. This is a great opportunity to do that with a 1-0 lead. Force the Spartans into chasing the ball. Create a possession game for yourself that really wears out the Spartan squad.
Get all of the up-to-the-minute information on Knights Athletics at MUKnights.com, and be sure to follow on Twitter or X or whatever it's called these days, at MU Knights. That's at MU Knights. So a throw-in coming.
I'm still not sure what you say, whether you say let's exit out or let's tweet it out, or it's all confusing.
I'm there because I got 16,000 followers at this point, Mark. So Harshini again will take the throw in. And the social media photography crew has to vacate. And veteran move by the freshman. Kill some more time by moving the cones. When you've got a 1-goal lead and your top goal scorer just got hurt. The flip throw. Matley got it eventually. Dribbled it with her hands for a few yards, which she can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Mallon will lift this back to allow more of her teammates to get behind the ball. Now Crawford. And Conrad plays it off the oncoming attacker for Missouri Baptist. That was Wood.
Give it nice.
Pointed to a spot, able to track
Gotta
it
get
down.
numbers. She's by herself.
Just has tried to play that ball across as best she could. Let's make sure the Missouri Baptist player that took a tough tumble at the end of that play is okay. Clock will stop now with 15 and a half minutes left to go in the match. And again, that's just a rough landing.
Yeah.
For the Missouri Baptist player.
Credit Lavezzi for doing a great job receiving that ball and getting it end line. But she didn't have any outlet to play the ball to. We got to get numbers forward. Numbers attacking the back post in the center of the goal area in order to create goal scoring opportunities.
Well, let's note that some of these freshmen we have talked about for this Marian team, they're all Midwestern kids, but a lot of them are not Indiana kids. Lavezzi is from Illinois. Decker is from Northern Kentucky. Harshany is from Illinois of this group. So Katie Byers get to start the match. She is from Cincinnati. So quite the expanded recruiting base that we are seeing for this Marian team. That's what winning does for you. That's what having a campus in Indianapolis does for you. Thankfully now the player from Missouri Baptist is walking back towards the bench. I believe that's Toish that was the injured player. So we will see now several substitutions are kind of queued up and ready to come in. So three different players now, potentially a fourth. And Toyce just said, I'll stay on. Thank you. I'm good. So it'll be three subs. Snyder will exit. Hollenbeck will exit. Watson amongst those that have returned for the Spartans. And again, Marian right now with that 1-goal lead, they'll let Missouri Baptist just hit this ball around at the back.
Way to get in there. Good.
That's off of Watson. So Marian will maintain possession. Crawford, yep. Handball on the turn.
Get it down.
Hollingshead with it now at her feet. And clock is stopped and a yellow has just been shown. Like, I'm not sure if that was to the Missouri Baptist play. You had to be because possession just was given to Marian. So, yep, that's against Missouri Baptist. Looks like Gianna Gore and Bridget Stratman were having a little bit more than a conversation.
I was going to say.
Well off the ball. And the referee said, heard something, and points in the opposite direction. So both teams now have been shown a yellow. And both teams' yellows have been drawn by the respective number 4s. Not positionally, but Cora Selma for Marian and now Gore for Missouri Baptist. And again, a unnecessary giveaway there by Mobap. Harshany will wow us with her acrobatic skills on this throw. Ball flicked forward. Crawford got blocked by her own teammate. Lavezzi, who has the goal, got in the way.
See if she can get this end line in the box.
Jones cuts it back and again swept sideways.
Smart of her to let the ball go over the touch line, burn a few more seconds off the clock. Great step over there.
Crawford kept that in play.
Crawford showing some great skill there with the step over and then the turn.
I continue to be mesmerized by the throw of Harshaning.
Yeah.
As she heads over here to do this again. Do you think she picked Marian in part because there's a track around the soccer pitch and knew she'd have more room to rocket launch that ball towards the 6?
That may have had something to do with it, yeah.
At the edge of the 6, again, headed down, not cleared, turned and steered wide. Goal kick. Marian asked for a touch there, but the answer is no, and now we have back and forth between the two teams. There, frankly, was a Missouri Baptist player that went flying. That was her own teammate that tried to separate the two. And now Marian will try to marshal the troops, and I'm not even sure we're going to see a card out of this, but that, frankly, is as significant of a dust-up as I have seen in one of these matches the last 4 years.
Agree.
So first of all, here is the near chance on goal. And you could see on that replay there was a player that was down kind of in the scrum. And cooler heads were largely prevailing.
Yeah, I think it was just bodies tripping over bodies and no intentional shoving or body contact until the melee broke out.
The player that seemingly had the most to say about the subject was Sage Stowers of Missouri Baptist. Things quickly were quieted down. Let's see if they flare back up in this one-goal game.
Nice touch forward.
Stoughton. And so often for Marian, Walters serves as such a target.
Stuck in there.
You don't have that luxury right now. Lavezzi, good job, man. She has made an impact in a big way.
Yeah, she's done a great job.
Jones has a hit from distance. Didn't get all the way through. Hollingshead clears it back to midfield, but no Missouri Baptist players in the vicinity. So restart coming from Marian. Again, they have been a bit more deliberate on these restarts, nursing this one-goal lead. Crawford got a boot to it, but a little more than the ball that time, so she'll be whistled for a foul. This reminder, fans, that joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support student athletes at Marian University. For more information, visit marian.edu/mclub. I want to thank Jordan Shue, Sean Walker, Daryl Tibbs, Rob Lynch, the rest of our ISC Sports Network crew. And it is a double dip today from Marian University. The Knights will take on their rival for 17 years in St. X in football tonight at 6 o'clock. Here is a chance for Missouri Baptist.
Container.
Long distance ball, and nothing comes of it.
Now just take your time here.
The opportunities have been few and far between in this match. And I think in a 0-0 game, that hit from 20 yards is okay. When you're chasing it by a goal, you got to be a little more picky and selective than that.
That extra pass, getting inside the box.
Harshini. Taken away by Gore. Crawford broke up the rhythm of the play. Toish. Crawford. Great job by Lavezzi.
Got to get numbers. She's doing a good job of trying to find somebody.
Looking for Conway, but
you can't come with just one. You've got to have a minimum of two. Somebody attacking the back post, somebody attacking the center of the goal.
Said Conway, Conrad, my apologies. And Matley eventually plays the turf bounce and tracks that down. By the way, Naomi Walters has a significant ice pack on the outside of her right foot. She has now made her way back to the bench to join her teammates, and again is not putting any weight on that right foot whatsoever. Decker awaits to re-enter when given the chance from Marian. 3 Missouri Baptist Spartans hope to do the same at the next stoppage in play. Selma makes the run. Couldn't get there in time, but forced the defender to make the play, and now substitutions will be waved on. Maxville returns. Evans returns. And Anderson return for Missouri Baptist. Conrad will go back to the bench for Marian.
Subbing in for the Knights is number 7.
I'm not sure it's campfire time around the corner flag just yet, but that's not the worst possible scenario for Marian at this point.
Number 9, Maggie Evans.
And again, because of Harshini, you've got the opportunity to throw this ball inside of the box. Curious as how many players actually Marian puts in there at this point. Right now they're leaving 4 outside of the 18.
The last throw she had really created some havoc there in front of the goal.
Decker,
nice.
The flick, but couldn't keep it on target.
That may have been the shortest of her throws right there.
Well, I think she hit like a dozen of those. She might be getting worn out.
Yeah.
Marian with 23 shots, 10 of those on goal. Missouri Baptist 8 shots, 5 on goal. But again, of those 5, really only the first play that Johnson had to make back in the second minute.
Yeah.
Only one that really was kind of from a dangerous spot. Everything else has been long-distance shots that have had no traffic in front of Johnson.
Right.
That's off the boot of Summers. Throw-in coming from Missouri Baptist. 8 saves by Matley, 5 for Johnson as she not only looks for her first collegiate clean sheet, but frankly, this is the first time she'll play all 90 minutes in a match. Opportunity here. Player got behind the last defender for Marian, but the Knights do just enough.
Somebody's got to stay out there with her.
Selma didn't clear it the way she wanted to. Jones gets a little more leeway, and now a real estate ball that goes 50 yards the other direction. The ball did stay in play from Watson. Harshini. Thought Selma was going to go get that. They both kind of stared and looked at it for a moment.
Somebody's got to step to that ball to close it.
Summers was the player that did that. And then Summers was the player that got the shoulder-to-shoulder tackle. And then once contact was made, lower body. That's a foul against Missouri Baptist. And if Summers is allowed to go shoulder-to-shoulder like that, I like her chances of winning the conflict.
Right.
And Summers, the senior from Noblesville, transfer from Valparaiso. Jones, a solid outlet. Long distance ball. Matley.
On, touch it.
Got there just in time. It was close, you're right. Flag stayed down. I wasn't sure if Decker was, frankly, completely onside there. Now it does not matter.
Good pressure here, good pressure.
And that pressure results in a giveaway. Next up for Marian, Northwestern Ohio coming up on Wednesday. And then, even though the Knights are playing well, given the slew of injuries they are dealing with, a very welcome 10-day respite after next Wednesday before the always challenging Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats make their way here on September the 23rd. Great ball to find Lavezzi. Decker is her potential target. And Lavezzi somewhere between a shot and a cross on that one. But most importantly for the Knights, the clock continues to roll, and the ball is 117 yards from goal for Missouri Baptist. Decker, great read. She's been very impressive today.
Give it, give it, give it.
Jones, well, it doesn't matter. Took a turn. Right advantage is being played.
Yeah.
Jones knocked that ball forward. Lavezzi, well done. Plays it in. But now a foul is going to be given. And this is against Missouri Baptist. So this is going to be the equivalent of a short corner coming up here. So the wall is now marked. And the spot of the restart now marked as well. But most importantly for Marian, the clock continues to roll.
So from this spot, I'd be floating the ball, popping it up, a little bit of a lollipop here.
I think the ball's going directly left, to be honest with you, Mark. Lavezzi's kind of moving away now. Lavezzi sends it in. Good-looking ball. Just didn't have a teammate get onto it. That was tremendous.
Yeah. Good decision on her part.
Decker. Two and a half minutes left to play in this one. And right now, Caitlin Lavezzi's second goal of the season with 21 minutes to play. The only tally of the match. Missouri Baptist, can they find one of the closing minutes to make this a potential 1-1 draw? Good take here, but then Jones hits a sidewinder. That took a pro-Marian turn as we hit 2 o'clock local time. That'll be a throw-in coming from Missouri Baptist. And at this point, everybody's got to get forward. They will quickly wave in 2 subs. Hollenbeck returns, Emma Seltzer returns. And if you're the 2 players they're replacing, you have to sprint off the field with 90 seconds left to go.
They're zoning in the back here.
Now in for the Spartans is number 10, Morgan Hollenbeck.
And that ball turns off of a Missouri Baptist player. And now if you're Marian, you are walking to restart this.
They've done a good job here of sort of milking this clock this last 5-7 minutes.
Mallon, Crawford. Decker gives chase. But anything in reverse for Missouri Baptist is a win for Marian with less than 60 seconds to play.
Keep her there.
And Crawford. Again, Crawford's goal, corner flag, which is exactly where she goes. Heady play. And that's going to be a foul against Missouri Baptist. And again, because of the time left in this match, the advantage for Marian is the clock will continue to roll. I'm not sure the ball's going to be kicked again, to be blunt with you, with 22 seconds left to go. Pass to a teammate, ball's in action. You hear Sarah Fryman's voice in the background, counting it down. And at this point, that's it, and that's all. It was gritty. Credit Missouri Baptist for keeping the number 4 team in the country in check. It's a win for Marian, but obviously your thoughts immediately go to Naomi Walters, knowing your leading goal scorer from last year suffered what appeared to be a significant injury late in the match. Caitlin Lavezzi gets the lone goal in this one. Knights win at 1-0. Mark, your final thoughts on this one.
Yeah, Caitlin Lavezzi, Grace Crawford, great finds for this team. Really stood out as players that made a significant contribution. Shay Johnson, great win, her first full 90-minute match in goal. Terrific job. Just a great game, a good win for Marian to get. I mean, as we saw things move forward in this second half, particularly with the exit of Naomi Walters, Marian began to bypass their midfield and go more direct toward the goal. I think that pressure really kept Missouri Baptist on their heels. They couldn't get to the attack themselves.
I want to make sure I reference a class move that happened off camera by the players from Missouri Baptist. Several of them walked over to the Marian bench to offer a handshake or a fist pound to Naomi Walters, and hopefully we see her sooner rather than later. Again, one goal in the match today. It was this one. Marian 1, Missouri Baptist 0. Thanks for joining us for Marian University Soccer on the ISC Sports Network.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.